Alright guys, we're going to be making panko breaded chicken today. I found this recipe online quite a while ago. I don't really remember the website, but it's a pretty basic concept of just breading your chicken with panko breadcrumbs instead of regular breadcrumbs, or Italian, whatever breadcrumbs you use. So first you're going to want to cut the chicken nice and thin because we kind of want this in a breast style. You can feel free to pound it, but if you don't like pounding your chicken or you cut it really, really thin, then you don't really have to worry about this. But I pounded it this time and I think it added really nice consistency and texture. So next we're going to get our seasonings together. I used a little bit of salt, pepper, paprika, onion, and garlic powder. I did not measure, I just kind of gauged what I thought would be good, and the seasoning turned out really well. So make sure to apply seasoning to both sides because we season our shit. We're not some basic bitches who just use some plain ass salt and pepper, if that. We're seasoning this bad boy. So make sure you season both sides like I just said. And next we have our eggs and panko breadcrumbs ready because we are going to dip and fry. These are the breadcrumbs I used. I used to get panko breadcrumbs just at Walmart, but I did go to an Asian supermarket and I got those instead. I would recommend those kind of breadcrumbs instead. They were much more flavorful and crispy. So first you want to go ahead and dip your chicken in the egg so we can have a base coat for the breadcrumbs to stick on. You can use a fork if you don't want to get your hands dirty, but after using the fork, I did realize that I didn't really stick as much as I would like. So I also recommend that maybe you use your hands and pound the chicken in just a little bit because we really want those breadcrumbs to stay. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. Also, be wary with the breadcrumbs. Less is more in this case because you can always add more. You can't take away, and once the breadcrumbs touch that raw ass chicken, you should not be reusing them. So you can always add more breadcrumbs later. And there you have the breadcrumbed chicken. Looks super good. It's going to be nice and flaky in the oil. So make sure your oil is nice and hot. I did drizzle a few breadcrumbs in there to see if it would start sizzling, and it did do that. So I knew the oil was ready. So you're going to want to have a little bit of golden on the edges for the chicken because that's kind of when it's time to flip. But if you're not sure, like I was here or like I wasn't here, you can go ahead and check your chicken. It's not a big deal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and flip now because it's a little golden, and we want to flip the chicken from side to side, maybe every minute and a half, because we don't want one side to get too crispy. And also, I personally think this allows the chicken to cook a little more evenly, flipping it a little more consistently. So maybe someone else would advise against that. But for me, and mind you, I am an amateur, complete and utter amateur. I kind of like to do that with my chicken. And these chicken breasts are not all the same size, so obviously be careful of your chicken. Watch it, make sure it's not overcooking. This little piece looks like it's ready to be picked up, and let cool on a paper towel and plate because we don't want an excess amount of oil on our chicken. So go ahead and move the other two chickens kind of warmer into the center of the pot so we can fry up a little bit more. That one's ready, and lastly, the big boy right in the middle so he could fry up a little bit more, get a little crispy. So they're all ready to go. Super yummy, super good. This wasn't as crispy as last time because I don't think I let the oil heat up just right enough, but it was still very tender and good. I'm personally going to dip it in some sweet chili sauce, and I had some boba at the side.